Hello, all you professional wrestling fans, and welcome back to Squared Circle Speak. Your home. I guess I gotta remember the new name. You told me yesterday that I had to come up with a new intro. So, welcome to Squared Circle Speak. New intro coming soon.
How about welcome to Squared Circle Speak, where we talk about pro wrestling, not all of pro wrestling, but the pro wrestling that we cover.
So basically, we're saying, listen, we don't watch all of pro wrestling. We watch what we want. So fuck you. Anyway, we're doing another title history. We did this one. We did the WCW World Television Title History not that long ago. And it went over well. It seems that a lot of people liked it. And we had a suggestion from the Stoned Vegan 1776 on YouTube asking us to do the WCW US title. And so we always said if you give us something, we will do it. And so that's why we're doing this one kind of quicker than we normally do. But we decided to do 2 WCW titles in a row. And since we had a request, we're going to honor that request. So the Stone Vegan, thank you for your comments. And this video is for you and everybody else. So just like with the television title, we are not starting in 1975 because that's just ridiculous. We're going to start with the same as when it became the WCW United States Championship. I know there's a lot of names that are going to be missing from this list, just like the television title. But we're going to go through this when it became the WCW United States title, which was in 1990. Lex Luger was in the middle of his reign. It was kind of in 1991 because he won in 1990. In 1991, it became renamed the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship. So the first WCW, and I use that in quotes, United States champion was Lex Luger. He ended up vacating the title on July 14th, 1991, when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. And so he vacated the United States Championship.
Oh, sorry. Just vacate the title, defend both. What a lazy son of a bitch.
So then at a house show in Atlanta, Georgia on August 25th, 1991, they did it at a house show.
Oh, that's great. We're off to a banging start, by the way.
Sting beat Steve Austin in a tournament final for the vacant championship. You couldn't have put that on a fucking Saturday night or something?
Yeah, that's a good match.
Man, he ended up holding it for 86 days. He dropped it to Rick Rude on November 19th, 1991 at Clash of the Champions 27. Nope, 17. And then Rick Rude would go on to hold it for 378 days.
Wow.
He probably would have won it earlier or held it later, but Nathan, he was injured and he had to vacate it. So we are only... We're 2 years in, and we've had 2 vacations. We've had 2 people vacate the title already. So we're off to a good start. Dustin Rhodes would win it on Saturday night. He defeated Ricky Steamboat in a match that was originally made to be the number 1 contender. But since Rick Rude was injured, they decided to just get Dustin to make this a title match. So he held it for 138 days. And then guess what, Nathan? It was vacated.
No.
The WCW Board of Directors announced the title had been held up several weeks after Rhodes' controversial title defense against Rick Rude. That ended in Rude appearing to win via pinfall, but then they decided that both shoulders wrestlers are on the mat. So they decided we're just going to strip everybody and vacate it. So then on August 30th, 1993, they had a rematch between Rick Rude and Dustin Rhodes, and Rick Rude won decisively. So Dustin Rhodes won. So Dustin Rhodes is the champion now. So he's a 2-time champion.
So let's think about this for a second.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
So Dustin Rhodes beat Sting or Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Rick Rude.
Mm-hmm.
How was he not a bigger star? Like what?
I don't know, man. And he held the title both times for over 100 days. So it wasn't like he was. Yeah, he beat Rick Rude and Ricky Steamboat.
No, I didn't watch WCW back then. Just so full disclosure,
I was 4, so I wasn't watching.
Well, obviously, and I was 7. But just full disclosure, I feel like I need to go back and watch some of this shit because you had Steve Austin, Sting, Ricky Steamboat, Rick Rude, Dustin. Like you had some big names going for this U.S. belt right
Yeah,
now.
I think we need to go back and start WCW from the beginning and just watch everything. Because going back with these title histories, you learn some shit. I never knew this stuff, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Steve Austin, he defeated Dustin Rhodes for the United States Championship at Starrcade 93 on December 27th, 1993. This was a 2 out of 3 falls match. So Steve Austin is the champion. He held it for 240 days. At Clash of the Champions 28, Ricky Steamboat would defeat Steve Austin to become the world champion, or the United States champion.
Mm-hmm.
He would hold it for 25 days before it being awarded to Steve Austin at Fall Brawl 94, due to Ricky Steamboat being injured. So he handed the title back to Steve Austin. So this title is on a tear right now of.
So, okay, we need to think about this. What is their reasoning behind all these vacations?
So the first one was, I guess,
No, I mean like legitimate.
yeah, I
Like,
don't know why they decided to just vacate the titles instead of.
Well, not only that, but what are they thinking? Because, like, you know, I just don't understand their mindset. Like, wouldn't they think that the crowd would get tired of seeing this shit? I mean,
I'm looking. I mean, if you go back in the day, like that was how they did it, was vacating titles when there were injuries instead of just or stuff like that. Like they just always vacated titles. So,
yeah, I guess.
but this one's weird because they just gave it to Steve Austin.
Yeah.
But then on that same show, Jim Duggan came out and beat Steve Austin in like 5 seconds to win the title. So Steve Austin's second reign was a day, not even a day, like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Duggan would hold it for 100 days before dropping it to Vader at Starrcade 94, December.
Hell of a United States champion.
I did not know Vader was United States champion.
We're learning some shit here.
Vader held it for 88 days before Nathan. Guess what? Vader was stripped of the championship.
Oh my God! Now, see, injury is one thing, but now you're just convoluting this title because you're stripping people. Oh
He was stripped of the title by Commissioner Nick Bockwinkel for hospitalizing Dave Sullivan the previous week.
Oh my God! Like I get storylines, and I get like, oh, this is real. This is, but God dang, man. Somebody should have been looking at this going, looking back and being like, we vacated this thing 4 times. Now we're stripping people.
So then a tournament was decided. The finals was held at Great American Bash 1995. The finals being Sting and Ming, with Sting beating Ming to become United States champion for the second time. Then on November 13th, 1995, at WCW World in Japan, at a New Japan Pro Wrestling event, Kensuke Sasaki defeated Sting to win the United States Championship.
Wow.
He would hold this title for 44 days, and then this shit gets crazy. So, One Man Gang would win the title at Starrcade World Cup of Wrestling, December 27, 1995. This was in a post-pay-per-view dark match.
What the?
But it was restarted. Sasaki would win, but it was never actually acknowledged by WCW. So One Man Gang is the current champion. But even though they had a rematch.
What in the blue hell?
I don't know. One Man Gang would hold it for 33 days. He would drop it to Conan, who would hold it for at main event on January 29th, 1996. Conan would hold that for 1 day. Apparently, or 160 days. Sorry, 160 days. I read the wrong thing. He would hold it for 160 days. He would drop it to Ric Flair at Bash at the Beach 96. Flair would hold it for 141 days. But guess what, Nathan? Guess what happened to Ric Flair's title reign?
Oh, God.
He was injured, so he had to vacate the title.
All right, so let's just be clear here.
That's 5 That's 5 times it's been vacated already.
That's 5 vacations and a strip title reign. So 6 times this belt was held up in 6 years.
Yep.
Once a year, Ryan.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we're averaging right now.
Oh my God.
So then another tournament final was held. The finals was at Starrcade, December 29th, 1996. Eddie Guerrero would defeat Diamond Dallas Page to become the title champion for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He would hold it for 77 days before he dropped it to Dean Malenko at Uncensored 97.
Oh, I didn't know Dean Malenko held the belt.
I didn't either. This was in a no disqualification match. On an episode of Nitro, June 9th, 1997, after 85 days, Dean Malenko would drop the title to good old Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett would hold it for 73 days. He dropped it to Steve McMichael at Clash of the Champions 35 on August 21st. Jeff Jarrett's title reign would be 73 days. Steve McMichael would hold it for 25 days before dropping it to Kurt Hennig on an episode of Nitro. I bet that match was fantastic. old Kurt Hennig, who didn't care in WCW, versus Steve McMichael.
Kurt Hennig had a couple good matches in WCW.
Kurt Hennig would hold it for 104 days. He would drop it to Diamond Dallas Page at Starrcade 97. DDP would hold it for 112 days before dropping it to Raven. Raven would win that title at Spring Stampede 1998. He would drop it the next night to Goldberg on Nitro.
Yeah, that sucked.
Raven was a one-day champion. His one and only reign, I'm pretty sure, was a one-day reign. He would drop it to Goldberg. Goldberg would hold it for 77 days before winning the world title. And then guess what?
Oh,
Goldberg would vacate the title.
oh my God.
So he would vacate it after he won the world championship.
We didn't get one in 97, though.
No, hey, we went a whole year.
Yeah.
98, though, we got one. Bret Hart would win the title for the vacant championship by defeating Diamond Dallas Page on an episode of Nitro on July 20th. He would hold it for 21 days before dropping it to Lex Luger on an episode of Nitro, August 10th. Lex Luger would hold the belt for 3 days before dropping it back to Bret Hart on an episode of Thunder.
Yeah, they're passing it back and forth.
Diamond Dallas Page would beat Bret Hart on an episode of Nitro. Do you see a trend appearing here, Nathan?
Yeah, this is every episode we have.
Diamond Dallas Page would hold it for 35 days before dropping it to you know who, Bret Hart, on an episode of Nitro. Bret Hart is a 3-time champion in fucking 6 months.
No.
From July to November, he won the title 3 times. Bret Hart, I don't remember this at all. Bret Hart would hold it for 70 days before dropping it to an episode of Nitro in 1999 to Roddy Piper.
Wow. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Scott Hall would beat Roddy Piper for the title at Super Brawl 9, February 21st, 1999. Piper would only hold it for 13 days. So here we go, Nathan. Scott Hall would then be stripped of the championship by Ric Flair after 25 days. Scott Steiner would beat Booker T in a tournament final at Spring Stampede 99. He would hold it for 85 days. Then Scott Steiner would be stripped of the title by Ric Flair.
Now we're averaging one a year again.
Ric Flair. Scott Hall won it, stripped by Flair. Scott Steiner won it, stripped by Flair. I don't know what the circumstances are for these of him stripping them.
I don't know, but Ric Flair likes stripping apparently.
So then he would award the title to his son, David Flair.
Oh wow, that's just great.
We're in 1999, by the way, so this is when WCW gets great.
Yeah.
So then Chris Benoit would beat David Flair on an episode of Nitro. David Flair would hold the title for.
Chris Benoit would have held the belt before this.
That was his first title reign. David Flair would hold it for 35 days. Chris Benoit would hold it for 34 days. He would drop it to Sid Vicious at Fall Brawl.
Did not know that happened.
Me neither. And then Sid Vicious would hold it for 42 days, drop it to Goldberg at Halloween Havoc, which I don't remember Goldberg being a 2-time United States champion. This match ended because Sid Vicious had excessive bleeding and the referee stopped the match. But then the next night on Nitro, Bret Hart would beat Goldberg.
Hey, he got some revenge on Bill Goldberg before Bill Goldberg ended his career.
Yeah. So then Bret Hart would hold it for 14 days before he dropped it to Scott Hall on an episode of Nitro in a fatal 4-way ladder match that also involved Sid Vicious and Goldberg.
That had to be one of the best matches ever. Let me tell
Scott
you.
Hall, Bret Hart, Sid Vicious, and Goldberg in a ladder match in 1990. I am looking this up after we get done recording. I'm telling you right now.
That's got to be an all-time classic.
Scott Hall would hold the title for 41 days. Chris Benoit would become champion at Starrcade 99 after he was awarded the title after Scott Hall injured his knee. The next night, Jeff Jarrett would beat Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit held the title twice, and he held it for a grand total of 35 days.
Yeah.
So Jeff Jarrett would win the title in a ladder match a month after the other ladder match just took place on Nitro. We had another ladder match. Here we go, Nathan. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Jeff Jarrett would then hold it for 27 days. Jeff Jarrett at Sold Out would be stripped of the title because of an injury. Jeff Jarrett would then win the title back. Okay, wait a minute. So he vacated the title at Sold Out due to injury. The next night, he was awarded the title back by Kevin Nash.
Wait, what kind of injury did he have?
What
Like,
the fuck?
what the hell?
2000. So he probably faked an injury or something. I have no idea.
Oh,
He would then hold the title for 84 days before he was stripped again of the titles. This was when Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff took over and they stripped all the championships.
We're up to 11, just so you know.
Well, Scott Steiner would win the title again. He would defeat Sting in a tournament final at Spring Stampede. He would hold it for 84 days, the exact same amount of time Jeff Jarrett held it, before he was stripped of the title when he used the Steiner recliner.
Wait, what?
I guess the Steiner recliner was banned, and he used it in a match against Mike Awesome, so they stripped him. So then Lance Storm would defeat Mike Awesome in a tournament final. This is when he renamed it the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. He would hold on to it for 66 days. Now there's an unofficial title change with Terry Funk at Amarillo, Texas. It's not officially recognized. The next night, Lance Storm would win it back. So I don't know. It wasn't officially recognized by WCW, but it is recognized by WWE.
Weird.
So then Lance Storm had it till October 29th, 2000, where he would drop the title to General Rection.
Oh, boy.
In a triple threat match, or in a handicap match, he defeated both Lance Storm and Jim Duggan.
Was this Hugh Morris's only title reign?
Of the United States title, yes. And
I'm
it was
pretty
a
sure
12-day reign.
I'm pretty sure he didn't win the TV title either. So
Yeah, it was a 12-day reign. He would drop it back to Lance Storm in London, England, after 12 days. Then Lance Storm would hold on it for 16 days, where he'd drop it back to General Erection at Mayhem. So General Erection is a two-time champion.
You got to quit saying that. God damn it.
General Erection would drop the title to Shane Douglas at Sin on January 14th, 2001. This was a first blood chain match.
Oh.
Shane Douglas would hold on to it for 22 days before he dropped it to Rick Steiner at an episode of Nitro on February 5th, 2001. And then Rick Steiner would drop it to Booker T at Greed, March 18th, 2001. This would be the last official United States Championship reign in WCW. So then after this point, WCW was obviously bought by WWF. So then the title was brought over for a while. So now we're going to get into the WWF, WCW portion of the United States title.
Yeah, we're just going until the end of the invasion.
We're going till the WCW title was officially dead. We're not going to talk. We might do the United States WWE title at a later point. But we're going to do it until it's over. So Chris Kanyon would be awarded the championship from Booker T. He on an episode of SmackDown in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on July 24th, 2001. So officially Booker T's reign was 128 days. He just awarded the title to Kanyon.
Why did Booker T just give him the belt?
Because Booker T was already the world champion. So I guess he decided to give it. Remember, this is when Kanyon was doing the Alliance MVP stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember why, but Booker T just gave him the title. Chris Kanyon would drop. What?
I said, okay.
Okay, I don't know. On an episode of Raw, September 10th, 2001. Oh, that's a scary date.
Yeah.
Tajiri would beat Chris Kanyon for the title. I don't remember that. I don't remember Tajiri being WCW United States champion.
Well, there we go. We learned something else today.
He would hold on to it for 13 days. He would drop it to Rhino on Unforgiven. They had a match between Rhino and Tajiri at Unforgiven. Shit, dude. Rhino would hold on it for 29 days. Kurt Angle would beat Rhino on an episode of Raw. Kurt Angle would hold on to it for 21 days before dropping it to Edge on an episode of Raw. And then Edge would hold on for 6 days, and then he would take on Intercontinental Champion Test in a title unification match, which means the title was officially disbanded when WWF beat WCW in the Survivor Series match, which was winner take all. So if WCW would have won, Edge would have continued on as United States champion. If WWE won, then he was Intercontinental champion. And so Edge is the last official recognized WCW United States champion.
I mean, that's a good person to end it, you know?
Yeah, a WWE guy.
Well, I'm just saying, at least it was a good wrestler. At least it wasn't like fucking, you know,
So
fucking Steve Blackman or something. I don't know. That was random.
What the hell is the hate on Steve Blackman?
I don't know.
So we had 11. So since 1991 to 2001, 10 years, we had 11 times the title was vacated or stripped.
That's insane. I think I counted 12.
Let me see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11. I don't know. I guess we miscounted. But still, that's over one a year. Not as crazy as I thought, because I remember being in 2001. From this era, so from the WCW title history, the longest champion was Rick Rude at 378 days. The shortest champion was obviously Jeff Jarrett or Raven, who had a 1-day reign. Actually, Steve Austin, who had a negative, like a 2-minute reign.
Yeah.
So Steve Austin had the least reign. Rick Rude is the longest champion at 378 days. The most times held was probably Bret Hart, who had it 4 times. Jeff Jarrett was a close second with 3. So interesting.
Very
Stuff. I don't remember Tajiri winning the championship. I don't remember Roddy Piper winning the championship.
I don't either. I think I do remember the Piper thing, but I don't remember Tajiri. I did not know Sid Vicious ever held the belt. I didn't know a lot of these guys. And I thought Benoit held it way before then.
Yeah, his first title reign was. Did he ever win a title then? Until 99?
He won the tag team titles and the TV title.
He was on the television. He did win the television title.
Yeah, him and Booker T, the TV title. But yeah,
that's right. But he didn't hold that very long. I thought Benoit was a champion longer. Like he was barely ever a champion.
It's crazy.
So yeah, that is thanks again to the Stone Vegan for shouting out the United States title and commenting and having us talk. Hope you all enjoyed this. And I hope if anyone else has any suggestions for a championship we should do next, it probably won't be for a while. We're probably gonna take a little break from the championship histories here. But if you have a suggestion for a championship throughout history, could be any company, could be any title. You know, we're kind of wanting to stay away from the world titles for now. We're gonna focus on kind of the lower titles, like ones that maybe people don't talk about. But yeah, if you have a suggestion, leave it in the comments. And I think that's gonna wrap this up.
All right. If you like this podcast YouTube video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to hear more of it, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when we upload some more of these. And we'll see you on the next one.
Coming up on the week, we've got our Forbidden Door pay-per-view review or preview, and then we have a classic pay-per-view review coming up for ECW tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. See ya.
Yeah.